I have no mouth, and I must scream.
Damn, what an awesome game. You know, the reason why I decided to play this was because when I was reading about it, I read on the wiki that originally the author of the book was like, no good endings in the game, please. And then the developers were like, we really think you should have one good ending. He was like, fine. But apparently the author really didn't want there to be a good ending. And that sold me on it. I was like, you know what? I respect that. I respect that. I'm down to give it a shot. Like, that's ballsy to be like, I want to drop a game that is miserable and nobody feels good about it at the end. But that was really fun. What an awesome story. I mean, I haven't read the short story, and I really want to go and read it now. All of the individual stories, except for Ted, sorry Ted, were kind of compelling. In the short story, Ted is the main character, meets this ending. Okay, well, Ted was at least in this game, Ted feels really weirdly included. But I think I can see why from his perspective it would make a lot more sense, because you know, when you're following a story like that, you'd probably want to follow it from the perspective of Ted. I mean, it's just easier to swallow that pill. The BBC version of the play is only 30 minutes. What a cool story. Everyone's individual story. I actually think it's a shame that I chose, I forgot the first character's name already, his story first, because his point-and-click adventure gameplay was probably the most confusing out of all of them. But I really enjoyed all the stories and the way it was told, and what an impactful, and also, I mean, let's be honest, at a time where AI is being shoved down our throats, I think stories like these are really like, look at the deleted scenes. There's deleted scenes. By the way, Alan, is Ted's world is a simulated version because Am knows he likes it. That's what I gathered as well. I have no mouth. Deleted scenes? There's like a 30-second deleted scene. Let me see if this is suitable for chat. Okay, it's the golem eating a baby. Oh no, oh my god, it's you eating a baby. Oh my god, it's one of the dogs. See why these got removed? Benny eats a baby. Yeah, that's not good. Okay, he inspects a peen. Okay. That's not that bad. It was like, bro, they gave you the Auschwitz Let's Play experience. I think those scenes would have been fine included. I don't like, you know, like protein. Yeah, look, I think whatever, you know. Yeah, Benny's story is very heavily implied there's gonna be cannibalism. I don't know why they deemed that was like the part that was too obscene to include, but I feel like the story of Am is worse and brutal. I mean, what a like genius idea. I think the idea of a supercomputer that is so powerful and all-knowing, but knows that it doesn't have a human body to be able to experience anything through is such a cool idea. That it would turn against humans and want to torture them is such a cool idea. I mean, what a fascinating idea. I mean, like, yeah, I mean, almost it's so human, and what a human thing to think that if something had achieved such sentience that it would want nothing more than to be human, which maybe it would, maybe it wouldn't, but I feel like that's an incredibly flawed way of viewing it in such a brutally honest human way, which I really like a lot. And I think that's really cool. Am is homophobic. He literally forced Benny to change his sexuality by reprogramming him. What? Look, I think there's such a fun. I want to read the short story now because I'd love to kind of see what the original kind of premise of it is and see how they've translated it into the game. Translated it. Fuck, I'm Am already, bro. I'm talking about words that don't exist yet. Look, that'll make sense in 20 years. Benny is also a good-looking guy, so Am turned him into an ape. Yeah, I think I read that. I think I watched a very quick synopsis of this game the story on YouTube at one point, and I thought it sounded really interesting. Well, I'll take that one scene out in particular, not just because of how much other shit's in the story, but babies are probably like the easiest cannibal. What the Froggy? Because they're kind of vaguely burrito dumpling shaped. That is the worst comment that I've ever seen in my life. What the Froggy? I was more so thinking because they you know, you were going along the lines of, yeah, you know, the whole thing, we have to go to the Auschwitz kind of concentration camp, and you have to like telling you to operate on do an experiment on a kid. You know, that would be way kind of worse. But then again, I think the lens of talking about this from, well, this is worse than this, is completely unhelpful in this topic of what we're trying to discuss. I could understand why they probably removed that shit in Germany, especially in 1995. But I think what a powerful thing to have to make a player play through, to truly have to especially have to try to understand that later on in the game, they're like trying to tell you, hey, he's trying to come to terms with the horrors of what he's done and trying to change in some aspect, although a completely irredeemable figure, but at least he can maybe do something. Game is just unbeatable in Germany. That's so fucking funny. The game is just unbeatable in Germany because they removed that. Fascinating. Such a fascinating game. I like in his arc that he still gets killed. I think that's good. Controversial opinion. I think it's good to kill him. There'll be a group of people on Twitter that get really mad about that, but I think it's a good thing that he died.